All right, Islam, everyone. We're going to start the class right now. All righty. All right, we start each class first by reading chapter 25 of the Holy Quran, divinely prepared by Prophet Noble Ali. I'm going to read the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation. If you are in agreement, affirm after I finish reading by saying Islam. Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his pair, and the breasts of one mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers and sisters, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him out. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortune of thy father contribute to the support of his whole nation, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Islam, say it with some life. All right. How many people listened to the broadcast last night? How many people know there's a broadcast last night? Every Tuesday? All right. How many people listened last night? You listened? All right. I know. I know, and that, you know what, and that's why we have our the radio broadcasts are archived for that reason. All right. Last night's broadcast was very interesting, and I am hoping, I don't think that I brought my notes with me, and I wanted to talk about it, but I don't think I brought, I would surprise myself if I brought my notes. Really. Let's see. What reason? What reason? Here, audience says, oh, all right. And that's here, audience says, all right. All right. All right. So anyway, I wanted to bring my notes because I really did want to talk about, all right, there's a question, why do we archive the classes? I'm getting messages even as we're broadcasting. There's a reason why we archive the classes. We archive the classes so that people who are not able to listen to the broadcast as it is going over the air live can listen at a later date. And in my opinion, those broadcasts are so informative that you can literally use them not just as an educational tool for yourself, but educational tool for a group of people and even children. Because children pick things up real quickly. And modern Europeans, they have us thinking that, you gotta fight to get this information into the minds of children. No, you don't. They are like sponges. Some of us are like sponges too, right? But children are definitely like sponges. I remember when my children were born, they were just sponges. They soaked up everything. They wanted to know everything. They asked questions. How many people have children? There's always a point in your relationship with your child where the question they ask is why? Why, Mommy? Why? 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 And I remember when my youngest daughter was born, my daughters would say things like, oh, my God, I just need a break, because their younger sister, Shaniqua, always asking them questions. Everybody experiences that. Every parent experiences that. Everything is why. What reason? Why did you do that? Tell me why. Because they look at their parents and they think, oh, you know everything. And we know a lot, but not everything. But anyway, my point is children are like sponges. To me, their sponging capability lessons once they're put in those institutions. That's been my experience. So we have to look at a way where we can make sure that our children are always excited about information, knowledge, and continue to be sponges. And so I know the only way that I know that we can do that is if we establish our own learning centers, not institutions, not corporations. We have the ability to do that. These counties, city, township, boroughs, they're all corporations. The only reason that every last one of us and our parents and our children are going to these institutions today, it has nothing to do with them being great with educating people. It has everything to do with them putting in a request to get finance to establish an institution to provide a service, because we don't do it. We don't. We have been, and it's not because of it's not because we don't want to. It's because we've been mentally conditioned to think that we can't. But we can. Everybody in here has something to contribute and can contribute. The only thing we have to do is come up with a program, come up with a strategy, and to me, that strategy would be, what are some of the liberal arts that you would want your children to learn? Well, they can't learn the liberal arts until they learn the basics, which is reading, writing, and basic arithmetic. Once they know that, it's off to the races for them. Everything else is critical thinking, right? That was my experience. That's why when my children got older and they were like, that school is terrible or that teacher is terrible, and I was like, it has nothing to do with that school or that teacher. You know how to read, write, and do basic arithmetic. You can learn on your own now. And if you're not going to take the initiative to get your hands on all of the information you can while it is free, then you're going to pay later. And it's so funny because my oldest daughter, she's like, oh, my God, Mom. She went back to school. And she's like, oh, my God, Mom, I wish I had done this when you told me. And I was like, I was trying to tell you. Because now she's excited. I said, I told you, if you can just get past this thing they call elementary, middle, and high school, college gets really interesting because you get to pick the subjects that you want to learn about. And, they will give you certain basic information, but then they send you on this is your homework, like go out and learn. And you can do that on your own. We didn't have to go to these institutions to get that. We could do that ourselves. And setting up an institution is so easy to facilitate that. I'm getting hot now. You can set up an institution to facilitate that. We have everything to do that. We have the people with the information. How many people here can read, just like to read? Right? Well, if you like to read, you can read to people, right? You can read to a classroom full of children, right? How many people like to write? Well, then if you like to write, you can probably teach children how to write. It's very easy. I did it with my grandson. My grandson was with me for a year because he was misbehaving in school. So he got a dose of grandma, and he's been straight ever since. one of the things, because see, I don't have time to be on, running behind people. I don't have time for that. So as parents, you have to come up with these independent ways of tormenting your children. And so I came up with, go to the dictionary and copy every word. And so I said, and when you fill the page, you bring it to me and let me see. So he would fill the whole page, bring it to me and let me see. And it was so sloppy, I was like, start over. So we did that for a while. Well, his penmanship is so good now. So good. But he learned how to write better, very well, in fact, and he also learned some words in the process, and he learned some discipline. He learned to sit, take your time, and be still. So simple, right? Freed me up to do a lot of stuff. But it was, a very mild form of torture for children. You got to figure out ways to torment them, but it's beneficial for them. And that was a great way to do that. So if you know how to write, then you probably can help or teach, encourage children on how to write well. How many people enjoy math? You probably can teach some basic mathematics, right? Because that's all they need is the basic mathematics, right? Arithmetic, Arithmetic, multiplication. It's arithmetic, multiplication. What else is there? Well, that's arithmetic, isn't it? Addition, multiplication, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. That's it, right? That's it. Once you know that, it all separates, because out of that comes your fractions, and out of that comes your trigonometry and your geometry and your physics, the basics. So if you teach them the basics, you can encourage them. Well, how do I get from here to Grandpa's house? Well, I don't know. Why don't you get the math and do the mathematics of it? My oldest brother used to do that. He was like really, I learned a little bit on how to map from one place to another from my brother. Too, that the little math wheel on the map gave you certain miles. You know what I'm talking about? They have that little. Thank you, the scale, that little scale, okay, and then you use that, and it'll tell you how many miles, and then you map it from one point A to point B, and that gives you how many miles, and how many miles will tell you how long the trip is. Who knew it could be that interesting, right? So we have to teach our children how to do that. One of the things that I remember as a mother, and we all have to do this, if you never, when I was younger, I noticed that my children, they were stuck in this neighborhood that we grew up in, and they thought, well, this is where it's at. And when I realized it, I was like, oh no, there's a big world out there for you to explore. I got to get you out. I got to get your mind out of this neighborhood and into. When I get older, I want to be able to go places and explore things, because if you don't get the children out of the neighborhood that they're in now mentally, they will never leave that neighborhood. And they will stay there, and they will stay mentally stuck. I don't know how I came to that realization, but I'm so glad I did. And I went into a little bit of debt to get us to what they call Washington, D.C., for a weekend. They got to see things. Well, back then it was like, back then the big thing was fur coats. I don't know what it is these days. Fur coats, glamorous gowns, because I had girls. So, that's what they're into. If it was a boy, I'd probably take him somewhere else. But I'm so glad I had girls. It's easy. Take them to fur coats, glamorous gowns, makeup, expensive purses and shoes and things like that, and you're traveling and you're dressing, and your whole world expands. And if I didn't do that, they would be stuck in this neighborhood. And we all have to figure out how to encourage our children, get them out of that neighborhood, So my oldest daughter was able to do something that I never did. Not that it's a big deal, but it's an experience. She was able to come up here one December 31st with 1 million other people. I would never do that. And watch the wall drop because she got out of that neighborhood. But if she had not got out of that neighborhood, she would have never made that trip and the other trips that she made. So we have to help our children expand their imagination. These institutions are not doing that. It's like, why are we even sending them there? Really? Why are we even sending our children to these institutions? They're not inspiring them at all. They're, in my opinion, they're really killing them. They're killing their imagination because it is through your imagination that you are going to expand and do some interesting things in your life. But if your imagination is killed at a young age, you're going to stay right on that street, down the street from the window that you look out of all your life. So we have got to get our children's imagination going once again. So we have to look at how can we do that with our information. I thought I saw the twins. I thought I saw Red Silver. He's not here. Because I have a challenge for him. How many of you can envision this? Right now, what do you watch on the TV? Okay, how many people watch TV in here? I know you all watch TV. Come on now. Don't be bashful. I'll check it out every now and then, too. Don't be afraid. What? Did I hear a love and hip hop over here? That is so scandalous. Karate too? How many guys? This is a question for the guys. This is for the guys. How many of y'all watch CNN, MSNBC, the news, period? Just the news. It don't matter what news channel it is, just watch the news. How many? Come on. Come on now. Come on. It's a guy thing. Every guy house that I go to, their TV is on the news channel. MSNBC, NBC, CNN, ESPN. I'm like, why are y'all sitting there watching it? And they repeat every hour. And they watch it like it's a new movie every hour. I think it's a guy thing because my dad does it, my brothers do it. You know, it's like every guy house that I go to, if they're single, if they can get away with it, it's on CNN, MSNBC, and you know, and I'm watching this. And I'm like, oh, God, we need our own media. We need our own media so badly. And you know what? I'm like, why don't we have our own media? There's YouTube. We can have our own media, right? If we can use YouTube like a TV channel, right? Because you can have your own YouTube channel, right? So why is it that we don't have no more that's putting out news, walking down the street and just talking about things relative to the Moor? You know, walking, well, how about, because every time I come into this area right here that they call New York, I always find the police pulling somebody over, right? So that's when we don't have our news team filming that, asking, well, what are you pulling him over for? Right? Well, what did they do? And then the person they're pulling over, what do you have to say about that? Why don't we have our own media doing stuff like that, right? There's stuff happening on the streets right now. You can go into the store, and they say, okay, you have to pay, this costs $5, but you have to pay 6% tax. Why are you charging people taxes they're obligated to pay? We have our own, we have YouTube. You got Moor putting a whole bunch of crap up on YouTube. And we got stuff that people can walk up and down the street and ask questions, record the stuff, and put it up on YouTube, and then we can tune into that YouTube channel and get our own news real. Instead of watching MSNBC, CNN, ESPN that's telling a bunch of lies about the Moors. You watch those channels, they're always talking about how Moors are stealing cars. What? The car dealership is a theft. Moors are robbing banks. What? The bank is a theft. I mean, come on. And then you got all these Asiatic people watching these news channels. Yep. They need to go to jail. Because they're getting mentally conditioned with the wrong information. And we don't have nobody out there putting out correct information. Nobody. There is not one Moor that I know of on this land that's putting out good quality, informative information about what's happening on the streets with Moors today. Anybody know? Anyone doing that? Anybody? But that's not on American soil. Ain't that a... That's over in Great Britain. And it's being put out by modern Europeans. How about that? Crazy. But if you go to YouTube, you will see Moors putting out crap about Moors every single day. Crap with a capital K. Crap with, I know it's a C, but I'm saying it's K because that K is the information is so crooked and misinformed. We might as well watch MSNBC and all of that other stuff. Really, because if that's what you're going to put out, we might as well continue watching CNN and MSNBC. Really? Right? Huh? What's that? Oh. But that's my point. We have the ability. Somebody needs to take up the challenge. You know, it's crazy because we got RVBey Publications, which is an online school, university, for real, right? Do we need another one? No. We don't need another one. You know, it's crazy because I was watching something, some stupid Moorish crap. I'm saying it's crap because you had Moors having an argument and somebody's filming it and putting that up on YouTube as I don't know what. But one of the things that I noticed was that it was talking about some guy who was into healing. I don't know what that means, but my thinking is, okay, you got Stubby who just explored the whole, herbal field. He did all of the work, right? When it comes to healing, medicine, Stubby has done the work. But you know what's interesting? There is no information whatsoever on the blood of an Asiatic, the cells, how they respond to certain herbs, what are the negative truths. Well, we know all the negative effects of poison. They call it medicine, but it's poison. How many people do we have to hear say you cannot heal with poison to get it? Right? But now Sebi has put it down when it comes to healing. How come we can't have a young Moorish son or a young Moorish sister take it the next step, which is because there's no data. When you go to these, I can tell you, I used to work in a hospital. When they call themselves doing a blood count, that's based on European blood. And they say, oh, we're all alike. No, we're not. Oh, we got the same red blood, but it's not the same composition. It's red, yes, but it's not the same composition, and it never will be. Our cells are different. The way we regenerate and they don't. Their ability to regenerate is super limited. We regenerate. That's why they will study us in terms of how they can be repaired, but not how we can be repaired. So for us to go to them to heal us, they're just using us as guinea pigs and then on top of that charging us. It's the biggest scam going on. You know, more people. I remember back in the day, and you can ask some elder people. They had cancer. If you can find some elder people, they're about 90 years old. They were diagnosed with cancer from age 30. They're still alive. You know why they're still alive? Because they didn't take no poison. Because the body, our bodies will naturally try to heal itself. That's all you have to do is give it the necessary tools. And the necessary tool is whole food and sun. That's it. But they can't sell whole food and sun. So they have to misinform the people so that you will think taking poison is going to cure you. It's crazy, isn't it? Did I hear somebody over here say something? They're treating it. Yeah, but you know what? You're right, they do. They say they're treating it. But here's the thing. Do you know, anybody know the last thing these modern Europeans supposedly cured? What was the last thing? Who said it? Polio. Yep. But guess what? Has they supposedly cured anything from polio? Nope. And they never will. You know why? Huh? Profit. That's right. Profit. It's all about the dollars. I should say it's all about the credit, because them Federal Reserve notes is not dollars. All about the credit. When you look at how much finance they lost in their supposed curing of polio, they've been pissy mad ever since. They ain't trying to cure, heal, treat effectively anything. Everything that they do is about creating repeat business, right? How many people been to the dentist? The biggest scam going on. I don't understand, and I said this to my dentist years ago. I said, I don't understand bone loss of the mouth, but if I break my leg, it's going to heal. But if I lose a tooth, it's not going to heal. I said, my bone will mend in my leg, but the bone in my mouth will not. I said, it's the same body. That doesn't make any sense. Can you explain that to me? He hasn't been able to explain it yet, and he's supposed to be a DDS. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? How many times nowadays, they will tell you, anybody who's been to the dentist, what do they always tell you when you go there these days? Oh, you're suffering bone loss, right? Bone loss. Everything's bone loss. If I pull this tooth out, it's gone forever. I said, really? Okay, and why is that? Bone loss. But if I break my leg, right, the bone is going to mend. The bone will mend in my leg, but not in my jaw. It's the same body. Doesn't make any sense. But my dentist said, "Girl, you ask too many questions." So I was like, well. That's his way of saying, shut up. But I'm like, you work for me, honey. I'm paying the bill here. I'm going to ask anything I want to. The whole root canal thing, that is the most ridiculous thing. How many people had a root canal? That is the craziest thing, isn't it? And in the process, it's a waste of time. That's right. It's a waste of time, and it's a waste of money. And within those 5 years, whatever it is that they suck up in your mouth to keep the numbness, it slowly seeps out, and you taste it every time you eat certain foods, right? And you're like, okay, what is that metallic taste? I don't even want to know. I don't want to. I'm alive, and I'm still alive, and let me not even question because I don't want to know the answer. Yes. It's crazy. They're gonna kill kill the nerve. Wait a minute. Pull the tooth out, kill the nerve, and then put a cap on it. Why did they put a cap on it? Because the blood flow into the tooth keeps the tooth from staying alive. So now that there's no blood flow because they killed the nerve, that tooth is going to slowly decay inside of the cap. That doesn't make any sense. And you know how much the cap costs? Well, that must be the New York price. Because up north, it's like $680 per cat. Per cat. So that's retarded. That just don't make no sense. I am still waiting for some water. And where did somebody was bringing me some water. My mouth is so dry. I would love my bottle of water right about now. Oh, wait a minute. I have something to drink. Yeah, so anyway, so that's dentistry, right? And we can fix that. Here's another thought about dentistry. If you go and dig up a mummy, the mummies still have their teeth. How many years ago was that? Thousands of years. We can hardly keep teeth in our mouth today. What the hell is going on? You can dig up a mummy and they still got anchored in their salad. We can't hardly keep a tooth in our mouth today. Something is absolutely wrong. But we need more. You know, I heard Ivan Van Sertima say that we need, what did he say? We need more scientists. He's right. He said there's a tragic thing happening in, you know, he said in the African or black community, whatever. I don't remember which word he used. So he's very aware that the melanated people, well, the melanated, I don't like to use that word now because I was listening to studies. And he said that he don't know what this word melanin means. He said he's asked people to explain what is melanin, because he said our complexion is not melanin, it's carbon. I was like, that makes absolute sense. And then when I started thinking about that, how many people remember when they dig up the mummy Lucy? Yeah, we got to do some carbon testing. And when I heard him say that, it connected me to Lucy, and I was like, oh my God, carbon, it's carbon. And they are doing carbon testing on Lucy. They just admitted that Lucy, without their scientific studying, absolutely is Asiatic. Absolutely. And everything that they test is always carbon test, right? So that means everything that they're looking into is about us and our history, and they're trying to figure out how they factor into it. Maybe. You could very well be right. That could be why they gave us melanin, because study said melanin is a word that modern Europeans came up with. What? Could be. So anyway, so I was listening to Ivan Van Sertima, and he said that we have a really serious problem going on. We don't have many Asiatic scientists anymore. And we need more scientists. And you know what? He's absolutely correct. 1,000% correct. Now, why do I say that? I love Ivan Van Sertima. Oh, my gosh. He can hype me up any day. Ivan, and another one is Yosef Ben Yachanan. Oh, my God, man. They can get you, those two can get me hyped up. Oh, my gosh, I go off. You know, when I listen to those two, because they're so on point with the information. And then Sheikh Amtejak, I discovered, I don't know nothing about Sheikh Amtejak or Yosef Ben Yachanan until I started watching Ivan Van Sertima lectures. And those three, to me, all were saying They were researching and coming to the same conclusions and collaborating. And they all did lectures where they emphatically was letting people know that you all are Moors. Every last one of them, right? And all three of those scholars let it be known that y'all are Moors. Ivan van Sertima put it down. Joseph Ben Yakanan, he put it down. And Sheikh Andajak, even though, you know, he had his translator there because he speaks, I think, French, he's the sidekick of Ivan van Sertima. They, all three of them, saying the same thing. Here's the problem. I think all three of them have now passed on. There's nobody to continue the research that they started. You actually have sellout Moors who's burying the work that they have put out. I won't say no names. But you got sellout Moors who are, thank you, oh my gosh, I so need this. You got these sellout Moors who's burying the work. Thank you. They're burying the work that these Moors have put forth. And so we need some scientists. So we need to encourage our children to move into the scientific arena. Now, when I heard them say that, at first I was thinking history. We need scientists to continue the history that these three scholars have done, right? Until I started listening to Sebi. And I realized, no, we need scientists to continue the work that Sebi has started. Although Sebi looked like he's going to be here for another 100 years. Yes, Sebi is going strong. So he might just need a research assistant to partner with, because he looks like he's going to be here for a while. But we also we need some engineers. That's a science. We need some engineers, right? We need people, we need some more that's going to go and do some research so that we can just tap electricity out of the atmosphere because it's there. We don't have to be paying these corporations for electricity. It's everywhere. We need our engineers to tap into that information and make it so that we can utilize it and we can free ourselves from these corporations that's putting out this destructive form of electricity. I mean, we have the manpower, right? We have all of these more, right? How many mechanics do we have in here? Automobile mechanic? I'm a little bit of an automobile mechanic. I am, because I don't like to wait, and I can't, you know, it's like you go to get your automobile fixed, and every mechanic have a back problem. So I got to do it myself. I do as much as I can myself, and then I take the bull by the horn and go to a mechanic and have them do what I can't do. But I will do as much as I can by myself because I don't have time to wait. I don't have time to wait. And I can't be bothered with people who tell me, I went to school for X amount of years and I got a certificate so I can charge you $90 an hour, but my back hurts, so you might as well just get a new car. I don't have time for that. I'm from the old school where a brother would take your engine apart to replace a spring at the center, put that thing back together again, and send you on your way. I'm from that school. I'm not from the school. I might as well just buy a new car. We need to encourage our children so that they can continue that science arena because science is across the board. Science is not just about law because law is a form of science. We need our children to explore other arenas because we need to completely extricate ourselves from any interaction with modern Europeans because the only reason that they continue to exist is because we are their economy. We are their economy. We are. And it's irritating to me when I hear someone say, oh, we need some economic relief. We need somebody to come and talk to us about economics. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We are the economy. Because if we don't go and make a purchase, that business will close its doors. And that was the lesson that was about to be learned when they boycotted the buses. They had to send Martin Luther King in to end the boycott because they lost a lot of money. Because the Moors, unconscious though they may have been, they stopped riding the buses. And it was mostly us riding the buses because we was cleaning houses and mostly the sisters, because the sisters were cleaning houses and taking care of other people's babies, modern Europeans. So we was funding our own enslavement once again, right? So when we stopped riding the buses and found alternative ways to get, even if we had to walk, the buses lost a lot of finance. That's why they had to send in Martin Luther King. Because if we learned just how much power we had and have, it would have been over from then. We wouldn't be where we are today if we had gotten the lesson that we do have power. But guess what? We got power today. We just got to discipline ourselves. Like how many people, let me think, how can I say this? How many people would love to be able, how many people use electricity? All right. Everybody uses, what do you use electricity for? Tell me tell me a couple of things you must have electricity for. Light, refrigerator, what else? Television, what else? Computers, what else? Phone, what else? What else? Cooking? Cooking what? Alarm clock? Watching? All right. What of those things can you do without? Do you have workarounds that you can utilize for any of it? Because let me tell you, years ago, our electricity got turned off because my children's father didn't pay the bill. So he was looking at me, and I was looking at him, and he was looking at me, and that went on for about a month. And we didn't have no electricity for about a month because I was looking at him to go fix it, and he was looking at me to go turn it on in my name. And I wasn't doing that. I said, no, I do everything else. You can do this. Go fix it. So we didn't have electricity for 30 days. We cooked with electricity. We had light and water. Our water was heated by electricity. All right? We didn't have it for 30 days. I refused. So I went and got a propane stove, and we cooked on that 2-burner propane stove for a month. You did everything in the light of day, and when the lights went down, everybody went to sleep. We heated up water, and that's how you took a bath. And it wasn't no long bath. And if there was 3 children, they all took a bath together. And if you was a couple, you took a bath together, because we wasn't heating up a lot of water. And we wasn't using a lot of water. And we did that for 30 days. So you can do without it. Oh, and we washed clothes. I washed clothes by hand. I'm telling you, I was determined not to turn that on in my name. You better fix it. So I just said that, and let me tell you, in the night times, because I do like to read, and I wasn't going to be giving up my reading, but the children went to sleep and I lit candles. It was so nice. All the candles lit. It was so nice. It was so relaxing. And it was so peaceful. I was like, I could get used to this. Yes. So, yes.
It's like, all of us on that, right? Yeah, the kid was school, had that tree store.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't my father. He got like about 6 o'clock. Because,
mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. We're spoiled. What is what we are? That's what it is. Yes. He paid the bill, and he turned it on. 30 days, boy. And his mother was staying with us, and she was looking at me, too, and I was looking back at her. You better check your son. But what it shows me is that you can do without electricity. We've really been spoiled. We've been spoiled. You don't need to. We got these cell phones that got us hooked up to electricity like it's an IV going into our veins. Really. But you can do without it. Look, everybody goes to a job that got electricity. You just charge it up at work and you use it. You use it sparingly. Ain't no long conversation. I'm on my way home buying it. Pick up some eggs. You know, but we have become spoiled. I mean, a lot of times when we're on the computer, now we're all researchers in here, right? So we're going to have to go to the library and use their electricity and their computers, right? Or now you can go and plug in at the bus station, or you can go spend your day at McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks and plug in, and you're good. You can continue your research. So you don't need electricity, right? There are alternative ways, but my point is, we need our Moors to get up on that particular form of engineering. We need to be free from these modern Europeans. So we need some engineering Moor out there to come up with a way to get us off the grid, because guess what? Guess what's coming? It's coming. The prophet said it don't matter what it looks like, because in the end it's all going to be back in the hands of the Moors, right? So how are we going to live? We're going to continue raping our brothers and sisters after the modern Europeans turn it over to us? Huh? Or we going to get smart? Because really the electricity and the gas and the water, the way they're doing it right now, it's not in harmony with the land. So we need to get rid of it. So we need an industrious Moor to figure out a way for us to get that electricity that it will be in harmony with the earth. I mean, we need a Moor that's going to be able to figure out a way where we can get gas to propel our automobiles that is in harmony with the earth, gas for our homes that's in harmony with the earth, right? Because when we look back, here's something to consider. When you look back at the, how many people have ever been to the pyramids? You been to the pyramids? Tell me about the inside of the, you been inside the pyramid? Tell me about the inside of the pyramid. No, because I know they went in there with some light. Yeah. Tell me about the wall. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And what about the artwork on the wall? Amazing, right? Did you see any electricity in there? Did you see any running wire? Did you see any of those, what they call them, the torches? No torches, no torch marks either, right? No, I ain't talking about what they added. So it is in our DNA to recreate a way to be 2, 3, 4, 5 stories under the ground, right? And still have the ability to draw intricate, vivid designs on the wall, not using anything that we see today. It's in our DNA. The question is, what more is going to pull that out of the DNA and bring it back? It's there, right? It's there. What have we pulled out to date? We're slowly making our way back to healing with food or the lack of food. Because, you know, when you don't eat food, you will heal. Or I should say, when you don't eat trash, you will heal. Right? So we're moving back to that. And I believe that's why they're really trying to push this insurance thing. Because a lot of people, and it's sad to say that it didn't start with our people. It didn't start with our people. The changing or the moving back to healing with herbs and eating the right kind of food, that started with the modern Europeans. But some of us started picking up that information, and so now it's spreading so that people are not going into these institutions they call hospitals. They're not taking these poisons that they call medicine. And if you're not doing either of those, there's no need for insurance. How many people are vegetarians in here? How many are strict vegetarians? Okay, so just a vegetarian. Just a regular vegetarian. Just a regular. How many vegetarians have been sick? No vegetarians been sick? Y'all ain't been sick? So do you need insurance? You don't need insurance. You don't need medical insurance. Because if you're eating a vegetarian diet, you're not going to get sick. Usually, you're not going to get sick unless you're doing some other stuff that's outside of eating food. And I found that the more you move into eating more whole foods, you're definitely not going to have any medical challenges, and you're going to have a whole lot of energy. How many people have even briefly done a raw food diet? Even briefly. Even if it's brief. Did you have a lot of energy? I remember when I when I did a water fast. I did a 10-day fast. Actually, it was doing the lemonade fast for 10 days. How did you feel? I did. I've done that. Yes. 50 day, fifth day. All right. So you got a lot of energy. Probably can't sleep at night, right? That happened to me too. So I did the 10-day lemonade fast. By day number 3, I couldn't even sleep. The most I could sleep was for 45 minutes. And then I was up. That's why I started riding my bike. I was like, I had got to get some of this energy out of me, or I am going to explode. So I went and bought a bike. This was a couple of years ago. I went and bought a bike. And because I was doing this and riding bikes, I was amazed at myself because I wasn't tired. I didn't feel like I was like really burning myself out. I actually felt more energized. So I did a couple of more of them. And I was riding the bike every single day. It was like, I got to get on this bike and ride. And then I was getting concerned because winter was coming. And I was, oh, how am I going to burn this energy up? So I bought a stationary bike for the house. So what I found is that if you change your diet, especially if you do even a fast, if you're sick at all, if you have any kind of medical challenge, if you do a 10-day lemonade fast, you will feel 100% better. You will have so much energy, and you will lose so much mucus, because just as Sevi said, everybody's medical problem is directly related to excess mucus in the body. That's it. And it's crazy, because I remember when my first daughter was born, I was visiting my aunt, and I changed my daughter's diet. I changed my daughter's diaper. And my aunt took the diaper from me and was examining it. And I'm like, what are you looking for? And she said to me, you need to check the diaper, because if there is mucus in the diaper, in the stool, that means the baby has a cold. And I was like, really? But it can also mean that you're getting rid of excess mucus in the body. Now, what's crazy is that it got everybody scared to examine their bowel movements. So you don't know what the hell is going on with your body. But then if you go to one of these modern European so-called doctors, they will tell you, bring your stool sample, and everybody gets grossed out. With why? It will tell you what's going on with your body. Your urine will tell you what's going on with your body, too. Anything that comes out of you is going to be telling you what is going on with your body. So you need to stop being grossed out about it and examine it. Even the smells that come out of your body will tell you what's going on with your body. How many people eat garlic? I love garlic. Love it, love it, love it. Even though Sevi says, don't eat garlic, I need to find out why he says that, but I love garlic. But if you eat garlic a lot, you will start to smell perspire garlic. And people say, oh, that's so offensive. Why is it offensive? Why would a normal body odor be offensive? I mean, some of them can be, but I'm just saying. But it's still normal. It's still normal. Really, when your body odor, I read somewhere, if your body odor is offensive, it usually means that you have a medical problem going on inside, because you're not supposed to. It's not supposed to. Nothing about the body, when it's pure, is supposed to be offensive. That's what I remember reading. And it makes absolute sense. I read that from, what's his name? Alelia Africa? Yes, in his book. He's got two excellent books, Nutricide and something Holistic Healing, something. It's the green and white book. I don't remember the exact title, but Nutricide is an amazing book by Alelia Africa. We have to get in. We have to become. Everybody in here knows what Islam stands for, right? I, self, law, and master. Yes. How many of us are taking mastery of ourselves? How many? One of the reasons that I changed my diet, I was reading the lemonade, because there's a little thin booklet written by the guy that, came up with the whole lemonade fast thing. And when I read it and I saw how addictive we were, or I was, to food, I felt I'm not going to allow anybody to control me like that. I didn't because I like to be in control of myself. So I made a conscious effort to change my diet. And I was a closet smoker. I was a closet smoker. That means that a pack of cigarettes could last me a week. I was a fake smoker. But I let that go. I said, okay, this is not productive or beneficial to my body. And literally, I woke up one day and I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. And I have not smoked a cigarette since. All right? And I've never been a drinker, never had the body for it. 2 glasses of anything, well, usually 2 glasses of Alizé yellow would have put me under the table. So I was never a drinker. But that's a little too rough for your body, especially if you try to go natural and do a vegetable diet or vegetarian diet. So I let all of that stuff go, and I decided to take control of myself. So whenever I feel like I'm being controlled by someone else, I have to stop and evaluate and make as much change as I can. Now, you can do that 100% with what you put in your mouth. Anything that you put in your mouth, you might have to adjust or just, continue when it comes to like how you're generating revenue so that you can pay these electric, these gas and things like that. Obligations that you have for yourself and your family, you might have to continue in that. However, every last one of us has creativity inside of us that we have yet to tap into. And that it's in that creativity that you're going to be able to find a way to generate revenue. And we as Moors, we have to get that creativity inside of us going, and then we need to share it with each other. For example, if he makes clothes and I need clothes, it makes sense that I go to him, right? And then if he makes shoes and I need shoes, it makes sense that I go to him. And if he goes to the wholesale place and gets some fruits and vegetables and I need fruits and vegetables, I'm only going to go to him, right? And if he makes beverages and I might not be in the mood to make my own beverage, but I need beverage, I'm going to go to him. And if I need my car fixed and he fixes cars, I'm only going to go to him. I'm not going to go to no modern European, no so-called Jew, no wannabe Italian brand. I'm not going to any stranger. I'm not going outside of the family. I'm going to keep, I'm going to go to my family. And the problem that we have is I hear a lot of people always saying, we don't support our own community. And sometimes they think that, okay, if you're in this block, this is a community. No. Community, for me, is your entire Moorish family. So if I have a VCR that needs to be repaired, and the repairman is over in California, and he's a Moor, I'm going to ship my VCR to California to be repaired because I'm going to keep it in the family. That's what everybody does except us. And then they want to sit around and talk about, well, we need economic development. No, we are the economy. That's how come these modern Europeans can develop, because we are the economy. So now we need to learn how to take our resources and keep them within our family, because that's the community. The only way that I know to do that is to create a directory. Now, there's supposed to be a brother, a Moorish brother, who has a directory, but I have never seen it. And so it would be great to contact him and see if, because if he already got a directory, do we need to create another one? No, right? No. So if he already has it, and I've never seen it. Have you seen it? What does it look like? What is it a directory of? All Moors? All Moors. All right, wow. How many Moors in here have tapped into their creativity? How many Moors in here will think about a creativity that they can tap into? All right, so we need to contact the Moorish directory and add ourselves Susan, you want to say something?
Yes. Earlier we were speaking about legitimacy for the legal created a life of how it's called for they did that more social.
Yes. Who has the testimony? Who's that? You're right. Well, we're gonna have to get in touch with them. Definitely gonna have to get in touch with them, because if we need that in the Moorish directory. We need to be able to go. I've never seen the Moorish directory, so I'm gonna have to check it out. Moorish Americans supporting one another. Oh, the Moorish directory. All right. Well, I will definitely be checking it out to see what it actually looks like, and maybe this might be exactly what we need, because we need to support our own people and keep our energy and our finance in our. All right. Yes. Of course. I know, you're right. All right. Yes, yes. You're absolutely correct. That's another area where we need help in, and it's something that I have been trying to facilitate. For example, every last Moor on planet Earth, whether you come to this class or not, we all have issues with our self. We have, we can say it's mental issues, but I don't know really why we call it mental issues, because it really has everything to do with your feelings and emotions. So it's really not mental. It has everything to do with your feelings and emotions, and it's things that we have experienced from birth to wherever we are now. The challenge that we have as Moors is we don't have anybody to facilitate that. I would never, ever go to a modern European and talk about about my feelings and emotions. I would never do that, because why would I go to the enemy and divulge my fears to them so that they can then turn around and use them against me? Because years ago, I speculated that these so-called psychiatrists, they're taking your fears and they are reporting them to somebody and using them against you. And then, lo and behold, I was watching a Law and Order episode, and it was about this so-called psychiatrist who was down in, I think, Guantanamo Bay, and she would meet with the prisoners. I'm sure many of them were probably Moors. She would meet with these prisoners to talk with them about their mental health, supposedly to assist them. But she was specifically put in that position to find out what their fears were, and then she wrote a report and sent it to the very people that was holding them hostage. And then they would take that information and use it against those people that they classified as enemies of the United States of America, and they would use that information to terrorize them into confessing to doing things that they didn't do. And one of her clients, when she left that and came into a so-called private practice, and I think you just muted me because I'm hearing myself. Oh, your phone. Your phone. No, just mute it. Yeah. Okay. No? You muted it? Yes. All right, yeah. So when she left Guantanamo Bay and she supposedly got practice up here, she was doing the very same thing. And one of her so-called clients ended up killing someone. Either killing someone or killing himself, something like that. And it came out that that's what she was doing. So that was like, to me, confirmation that, oh no, see, we Moors don't need to be going to nobody that's calling themselves a psychiatrist because we got emotional, mental issues. We don't need to be going there because they're only going to take that information and use it against us. So we need a Moor that's going to be able to provide that type of a service. And really, what I have found with myself and talking with other people is, the vast majority of us, our mental issue is that we just want somebody to talk to. That's it. We just want somebody to talk to that will listen, won't judge us, and a lot of times we don't even need them to solve our problems. We just need a sounding board. That's it. That's all we need. And that's not what these modern Europeans provide. So I've been trying to look at a way to facilitate that, and it's something that I've been looking at doing specifically for a lot of the sons, especially the sons that have been kidnapped and have been held prisoner in any of these prisons, especially those sons, because I know that they got some deep scars that they need to get rid of desperately. And there's nobody else to help but a Moorish mother. His mom. So I think Roz wants to take over now. Because it's like 9 o'clock. And it's not taking over. I have something to say. I'm unmuted, though. All right, so that's right. I can, yes. It's wrong. I don't say his mom sees it up, right? But I gave him big next. I'm muted. No. Truth. Peace. Freedom. And what comes after that? Don't matter what you do, that's what you're going to get. Now, it just no, really, just us and whatever we do. Retribution means what have you contributed in the first place in order to get retribution from. That means all of us. I don't care what station you think you're in. It's interesting. I came in and there's a couple of people I had to say to me, listen, what are we going to do? Because not everybody is in the right spiritual place. And it's kind of like where the conversation's going. Is the right spiritual place? What can we do to come together so that we can teach the people? Because they're not in the right place to be where they need to be in terms of their spirit. Well,
Cardinal Joy said you need to know the truth and the divine truth, right? Okay, so that answers that. If it wasn't for the fact that this was fallen humanity, we wouldn't even be here. You wouldn't be sitting in those seats, and we wouldn't be here because a lot of people have done this work doing what they do in the first place. Then I had someone else say, well, I don't see no unity. And I said, well, there's no unity in your heart then. If you can't find unity, then you forgot what this was about too. Go do you. But don't tell me I'm quitting the Moorish thing because I don't see no unity. It ain't nothing but the Moorish thing. This is the Moorish nation. You're standing on the ancestral state of Moor. I don't care what nobody else tells you. It's about the fallen humanity, and that's about all of us. I don't care what religion you think you got, you have. I'm going to show you tonight that all religion ain't nothing but science, universal, period. Cosmology. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to show you where these Europeans, when they originally started Christianity, they knew it and said it. And now they tried to, why did they start Christianity? So that they could say that, what does the Bible tell you in your memory, in your studies? For their earthly salvation. What the heck does that mean? We read Christianity was designed and started as a religion, that is. Because I like to be Christ-like, crystal clear and pure, but that's not what this Christianity as a religion is, nor was it established for that reason. It was established for their earthly salvation. What does that mean? Does anybody know? Has anybody even thought about it? What does that mean? What earthly salvation? You know Europeans started it, right? Why? Because there was no Christianity. They talk about they adopted stuff from who? The pagans, right? Who are the pagans? The damn sure ain't them. It's like the prophet said, and I keep saying the prophet said because if you come off of the deen or off of the square where the prophets work who was sitting in the seat that you sitting in and you sitting in and you sitting in one day and face this issue about what our problem is, right? If you don't listen to the person who has the most experience in it, then you're a fool. Then get off the game. Don't even come in. Don't even bother. Matter of fact, if you can't uplift you first, then you can't uplift nobody else anyway. So what? Do you, be you. All going to be in the hands of the Aboriginal indigenous people because these Europeans cannot, modern Europeans who are doing this corporate stuff, which is really the spirit moving. It's the spirit moving. It's the intention and the energy of a spirit moving. That's all it is. And if you see it as anything else than that, then you also in the wrong place. So, it's for those who have eyes to see, ears to listen. Many are called. Few are chosen. Who you to tell that you chose? You didn't choose Jack. Only you choose yourself. That's why. But for someone outside of you to try to choose for you, wrong. Because if you haven't saved yourself, what you talking about? You don't want to help save nobody else. I don't want you to help save. Save yourself because the Savior that you're looking for is within. So if what you got within you is having you to want to do these other things, do you. Because you got to answer to you. Now, when we talk about civilization and the beginning of civilization and the pyramid, which represents the civilization from ancient times that I told y'all, everybody before, about this wide, I'm going to see you on the other side, brothers and sisters. I'm over here doing what I do. You over here doing what you do. When we start coming to the top, we'll see each other. And if we separate, then we just not in the same path. It ain't no big deal. We just ain't the same pyramid. Because there's only one top. There's only one. And either we're going to see each other there or you're somewhere else. Now, we think that there's somewhere else. We think that there's something else. Some grass green on the other side. Grass ain't green unless you're watering it. Right? So what grass are you watering? It's not complicated. Who cares if you listen? 3 things today that I want to share, and all of them are along the lines of what I wanted to share anyway. But 3 things occurred to me by 3 different people saying 3 different things to me tonight. How can those who know? How can those, our people, they're really not ready, Our people, they're really not ready. if it wasn't for the fact that we, as a nation of people, were fallen, we wouldn't have to talk about who's ready and who ain't. The whole point is that it's fallen humanity, right? So we must raise up fallen humanity, right? Others, there's a divinity that exists. The reason why our people aren't ready is because they don't have the divinity, the spirit. Well, you need to know the divine truth and the truth. So when you get the truth, you get the truth. It's divine and the truth. And you need to know that truth and falsehood is strangely mixed. These are already been directions that have been given. Now, for those who do not wish to receive those lessons, what is their reason? Their reason, go ask them. Because there's going to be some reason. Now, y'all know I'm an air sign and I'm not going to stand still. That's my energy. Everybody who's air and fire does not stand still, but I'm going to try. I wouldn't stand still just for lower, but it's not. So that I could. Okay, I'll try. The camera, but I'm not used to the camera. So I'm not going to stand still because I can't. Because I am an air sign. I am an air sign. I'm not just an air sign. I'm a 5-star air sign. I got 5 of the same in the same place. So that's why. That's the energy. That's the energy that I have. I can't help it. You went through your life not understanding who you were until you get astrology. And why you might not deal with somebody because their energy is so hard. Why your energy is so hard? Because I'm 5 times air and 5 sets of swords. What you want from it? Right? You understand what I'm saying? If it's a Libra, you might carry the sword. Right? That's it. If you're an air sign spirit, you're outgoing. If you're water sign or earth sign, you are going to be incoming. You come in the room, you sit there, you don't say that to nobody, but you didn't miss anything. Understand these elements before you start judging your people. Well, I don't know why she's like that because, I don't know why he's like that. I don't know because I don't do that. Well, that's their energy. Now what? Yeah, right. You can handle your own. Because you got to be you. So now, when someone says, can we do something to get those who doesn't have the spiritual? They're asking, how can we minister to our people? Now, like I said, it's fallen humanity, right? Right?
Yep.
Right. Lower self-activity, right? Right. Does everybody have to sound? Is a higher self and a lower self. Well, when you see somebody doing some lower self activity, they're what? Or foreign activity, they're working with that lower self. What's the big deal? As far as understanding it, there's no need to judge. It's to understand it. Now, how do I know when this will be over? There will be no more foreign humanity. You want to know how? When mothers start raising the babies in the first school room, which is in her room, that's when it's over. And guess what? I'm sure what you say, that's when it's going to be over. If you ask, it's the truth. Because it ain't going to be over until then. When it's going to be over is when that happens. When that happens, it'll be over. When it's going to be over is when that happens. When that happens, it will be over. That's it and that's all. Because that's the first schoolroom is the womb. That cannot be escaped. So if the woman knows something, the mama, or don't know something, don't matter. Until she starts realizing that she's the first teacher and decides that she should get up and learn something, that it won't happen. That's why this is about birthright, that she gives birth, but she's sitting down on her ass. She's doing nothing. She ain't even interested. It's about her. Now, how many listened to the show the broadcast last night? Now, you did, right? How you doing, brother? I got this up. All right. And that don't sound much like it. I got this up. You know what I'm talking about, right? Somebody else make a big deal out of that. Yeah, man. She on her hand, so brother, she got that stuff. Right. That's not. He's looking up something. His paperwork. He's tired. See, but see, that's the presumptuous stuff. That's how, you know what I mean? Like, we should be thinking at a higher level, and we wouldn't even think on our lower self. Nah, but we do. And that goes back to the problem that some people think that our people just ain't right. People just ain't ready. There's no unity. Let's read the unity of life. We're going to read it. Somebody's going to read it before we leave here tonight. Let me just give this other lesson I want to give here. But we're going to read it. What the hell are you talking about? There's no unity. And why do you think we're doing this stuff? Isn't that why we're wrong? When I say we, I don't mean me. I mean you. I mean all of us. So we're going to give up on that for what? I have another book coming out about, and every month, because I had this conversation with someone just earlier, too. No, that was one, and I had a second conversation, and I had a third. Okay, I just want to say this, because this ain't going to change. This book, the next one is called Are You in Denial of Your Constitution? Y'all know we do Are You in Denial of Your Ancestry, right? And Are You in Denial of Your Ancestry 2 is for Moors, Asiatics, and Americans, right? And so Are You in Denial of Your Ancestry 3, 2 is listed, 3 is coming out. But Are You in Denial of Your Constitution? Because there's only one supreme issue, and that is to enforce the law of this land, right? Right? Yeah. Oh, we don't know that. Who says no, that's not true? Anybody? Because, see, look, that's the American law. This is your ancestral state. We are more Americans. There's no Americans other than you. Because the other so-called Americans, they ain't really Americans, they're citizens. They're American citizens. Right? Am I right? They're American citizens. And the Prophet Noah said, enforce the Constitution for the United States of America, for it, because that's what it's for, one win for you more, but it's that for you to put your face on the enforcement, all right? Enforce the Constitution for the United States of America. If you don't do that, you will be, what? Molested by who? This damn other citizens. You're all molested by the other citizens talking about what's wrong. Because the United States, at least that. Now, let me say, if everybody enforced it at one time, wouldn't it be over with a breakfast fight, wouldn't it? Well, what? Breakfast fight. Why do you think? Now, there's American law, there's English law, right? How many of your people got you by English law? Ain't got to do with American law. The modern Europeans are suppressing you with fake-ass family courts and stuff like that, and fake courts. They're using English law, not American law. So if you want to be a lawyer, a half a lawyer, or anything legal that's lawful, you should read the Institute of American what's the book I'm talking about? Institute of American Law, right? Thank you. That's what the hell you should be enforcing. The Institute of American Law. You can get it on a CD or PDF. I think, Dave, you have it, right? Right? By Bouvier, right? A lot of good definitions. People say, well, that's this. Okay, come on, let's talk about this. Well, that was good, they like that now. You've been sleeping that long. Wake up, you sleepy-headed Moor. Bull. Be kind. Let's go to where, under the Constitution, we need the Constitution right now. It tells you exactly how a law is established, right? Is a statute of law? No. Hell to the nut. So, excuse my French. So if it's not a law, what are you talking about? You're enforcing the law, talking about a statute. You ain't enforcing no damn law. You can try to make people who don't know law, because that's our problem. We don't know that every child that has been born from the mother's womb, we just lay down the law. We don't know that. We don't know that. So we're enforcing that. So now people are thinking, well, they got guns and they got this. So what does that have to do with anything? With your knowledge base? Nothing. Because truth will eradicate all of that. The light of truth will eradicate every bit of it. And a little bit of militia. At least in your community, they can't just like Can't you at least hold down your community, holding down a black? Come on. You hold down, huh? What are who are those the people? The people are. Okay. Okay, hold on. The Black Panthers are doing what? Oh, you're saying, they're saying that in Texas, the people, the robbers, not the Europeans, because they've been doing it all along. They rolling around with their guns on their head. I bet you they won't be left. I bet you them punks won't be pulling them over the side of the road to beat them upside the head for not having a driver's license in Korean War. They won't think twice about it. Huh?
It was real respectful.
You damn right they're real respectful because they use the gun and threaten direct intelligence against you when they're not even the law. They're not the government either. So now we're finding out that what you thought was the law and thought was government is not. Never was. Right? So now you're thinking, wait a minute, I just let them have a right to travel from to and fro. That's my personal liberty. I mean, nobody want to hurt nobody anyway. And after I do that, and the man stops me and tries to beat me upside my head, pull me out the car, kick me, and arrest me. Think about it, right? It don't even sound right. Does it sound right, brother? Don't even sound right. Something wrong with that picture. What is the problem there? And then they say, okay, you broke the law. So now you get to know what the law is. You find out you break no daggone law. And no new laws have been made. How many people have said no new laws, that there have been no new laws since like 1861 or something? Because Congress was in Senate. You heard it, right? Do you understand why? Clearly. Is there anybody who can really tell me why that will raise their hand and say, let me tell you why? Okay, we think we know. We think we got the right idea. In other words, we say, yeah, 1861 Congress did go out and send a deal. All right, well, you got your hand raised. I don't know how well we're going to hear you because of the, so talk really loud, because we don't have the microphone. We're in a room with no speakers. Well, when you say the Iroquois is a family of the Confederation of Moors, not Indians, that at the time of the convening, which was here, because the first capital, the capital stuff in the was right in the Philadelphia, this area. Well, we're not in Philadelphia. Okay, they walked out. No, that's why it was a Senate, right? Right? Okay. Well, yeah, that's what happened. Do we know why no laws have been made since that time? I want to know if anybody knows why, because everybody keeps saying, well, there's been any laws since they walked out and sent it there. Why? Yes, brother. Okay, y'all can't have conversation right here while he's speaking, because it's hard enough for us to hear because there's no speakers in this particular room. Because only indigenous sovereigns can create laws? Now, there's something very, very important. Everybody who's indigenous doesn't mean they're aboriginal. But if you are aboriginal, you are indigenous. But if you are indigenous, it don't mean you're aboriginal. That's why you have European descendants, modern Europeans that is, claiming indigenous status. But aboriginal status, always add that in front of you if you're more a national. Because it means be first, coming down from the spirit manifest, right? And be first to navigate on this earth plane or more melanated people. Fact, right? Right? All right. So always say aboriginal and indigenous people. When you look up the definition of what an American is, it doesn't say indigenous. It says aboriginal. Did you hear me? Aboriginal. Now, why is it that in 1861, we don't have speakers in here, so it's kind of hard for y'all to keep the noise down there. 1861, when Congress walked out and sent a deal, no more laws were made. It's right in the Constitution. Let me see the Constitution. Can you have him hear me? That one? Oh, I got it right here. All right. Can you find Article? What is it? One. Yes, but that's not why. Let me see, ma'am. How you doing, sis? Good to see you. Let's see, which one is this? Okay. Is this the one that lists that Benjamin Banneker was the first president? Is that in this book? Yeah, I got mine from him. Oh, man, I know what article I'm looking for. Which one is the one? Oh, 7. 1-7. Well, actually, it's a process, but I'm going to show you the one section. And then I'm going to ask you a question. Okay. I want you to, somebody's going to define this for me. Can you find where it says except as a infinity? Okay. It goes through the whole process of how a bill of law is made. A law is made from a bill being presented, correct? So they call it a bill, correct? Right here. It's right here. All right. Now, you're the president of the Congress of the United States. She's the president of the United States of America. Obama is the president of the United States of America. Read the Constitution. There's also another president, but he's not active because that's a Moor who walked out. Not that he walked out, but we are no longer active in. When we left, we're not active in government. When we left this, they went bankrupt because we remember they had to ask us for our permission to even be here for them to even change their allegiance, which is what the 1776 was about, right? Right? And we set it up, right? And when we walked out, right, they collapsed, right? But the law of the land stays because it is based on divine law, right? So if nothing ever goes down ever again, the law still remains as the law of this land. You got it? So they came back up 10 years later as corporations. And that's what this is. They're not the government. They were dissolved the moment that happened. But let's get a little, my point is right here. This is my point. The bill is presented to the President of the United States who refuses it. Or doesn't matter, right? President. I don't want that. I don't want that bill. Then it comes back, it's right in here, right? And it says, well, even if the president said no, 2/3 vote from the Senate and the House, we still can do it. Correct? Correct? All right. We can still do it. But now this time we got to come back to the president and say, you got 10 days, we got 2/3 votes. Here's the people that said yes, here's the people that said no, yay and nay. Now he knows who's with him and who's not, right? But we're going to do it anyway. So you can either sign it in 10 days, and if you don't, it doesn't matter. It's going to go. Correct? Unless, what's it say? Unless, okay, the president went 10 days, Sunday's accepted. This is coming back now, right? Because he don't want to, okay. Within 10 days, Sunday's accepted. After it shall have been presented to him, that's the 10 days, the same shall be a law. In like manner as if he had signed it, right? Unless the Congress, by the adjournment, prevents its return. How long has Congress been in adjournment? Now do you understand why there's no new law? Right in front of your face. Just get you to thinking. Study, study, study. So now, why are you always charged with statutes? Because you didn't know that, that's why. Because people perish for a lack of knowledge, so says Yahshua, right? My people perish for a lack of knowledge, right? We just pointed that out, right? Is Benjamin all the time was hiding? Wasn't hiding. But someone told you don't read the Constitution because it has nothing to do with you because you black people, right? So you did it, right? So you're like, yeah, you know, the white man this and the white man this and this is his law and all that kind of. He ain't got no law. He has no law other than what we've allowed to be occurred. So now do you get that lesson right there? Now let me give you another lesson that I wanted to share. How many have gone on the site and read the Happy New Year Vernal Equinox that was written by Ms. Reagan? Wasn't that very lovely? So here's another lesson, and this is for all the people who get caught up in their religion. I'm going to knock your religion right off because it ain't religion. It ain't religion. Ain't nobody asking you to subscribe to nothing with the information that we're sharing here today and have for 9 years, here for 9 years, but altogether for me, let's see, what is it, 2016, right? Is not asking no one to subscribe to anything. The problem people have is that once no Prophet Noble Ali and the temples were infiltrated, it was thought that it was a religious choice. They asked, make sure that the people think that being a part of this MST of A is a religious choice, when it's not. What it is, if you know what religion is. See the tricky? What I just said is an example of what? Truth and falsehood being strangely mixed. Right? So now, let's get back to this. Why is Christianity established? I'm going to prove something to you. You saw the article, you saw the ecumenical council that we dug up? Liz dug up? Because I said, he said, we'll do Happy New Year, Easter. And I said, well, and this is a lot of people, they go to church and don't know this. It's simple. I said, well, it's springtime though. And they show Easter eggs and bunnies. But bunnies don't like Easter eggs. So why do they show eggs? Well, because it represents fertility, which means it represents the fertile ground in the womb, the woman. And once again, sisters, wake up. You've been talking about it all along, but you just prefer to be asleep because they done took over and told you and pressed upon you to revert. The English law is about the patriarch, and it has nothing to do with nature. Or nature itself, whether it's American, English, don't even matter. They go against nature. So now you got an Easter egg and a bunny, but a bunny don't lay Easter eggs. No problem. These are obviously symbols, right? Because man has to learn by signs and symbols. So what do they symbolize? Fertility. What is that? The woman. The earth is fertile right now because the sun has, ascended and rise the trees and the tulips and pretty colors and flowers and greener grass, vegetation and fruit, right? Same thing just doing to you right now, right? So I'm like, well, the first Easter was determined to be celebrated was based on Constantine, which is the father of Christianity. How many people know Constantine is documented as the father of Christianity? You know how many people go to church every day talking that stuff about I'm a good Christian and don't know where it was established? That's some sad shit. You gonna tell me that I need to be a Christian and that you are a good Christian, and you can't even tell me how that originated from. No, it's not they don't want to talk about it, they don't know. Which is the hypocrisy for any intelligent person. You're going to tell me, because I know you know, God didn't come down and write that book, so please don't tell me that shit. No, it's not that it's not that. Come on, really? You believe that for real? You grown up? Okay, all right. It was too much for you to absorb that mommy and daddy said take your behind on the church every Sunday and you didn't really want to go. So whatever they told you, and then you believed, and you are now a grown up and never even. And then when you do question it, and you go to your reverend or whatever, don't question the word of God. Well, I'm not questioning the word of God. I'm talking to you. Oh, you can't answer it either. Oh, okay. If you're a prophet of God, you're going to tell me what's going to happen. Because what? Now, let's get intelligent. If you're a prophet of God, first of all, not God, because God is a 5th century word. It just came up. It's German. But let's do that and not do that. It's a title. But if you're that, then you must now look up the word prophet. What does it mean? It means someone who knows the coming events and warns the others. Oh, like a seer. Oh, no, we don't believe in seers. Oh, no astrology. But wait a minute, the Bible says this is a book of what is, what was, and what's to come. That's forecasting. Oh, no, we don't do that. Okay, all right, so check it out. The hypocrisy is, but there's a reason I'm doing this, not to put down Christianity, because I am Christ-like. I like to strive to be Christ-like and crystal clear, which is crystal clear and pure. I strive for that. I would love to continue to strive to be Christ-like. I didn't say that. I said Christianity as a religion was not established for anyone except for modern Europeans And you want to know why? Because they were slaves, and it was bringing them up out of that slave position. Let me prove that to you. We already proved it already, of modern day. But of older day, Constantine is the father of Christianity. Everybody knows that, right? Constantine's first council of Nicaea, which determined Christianity in 325 AD, right? Which means it's after the death of Jesus or Yahshua. What did he have to do with that? Nothing. Prophet who you are, like true prophet, said if I can just get you to think you free yourself. Stop holding yourself down from being tied down with religion. Free yourself. So, so I'm saying this to say that, where's that? What happened was, because divine law governs all things. So, I was like, man, you know, the Nicene Council was the one who established when Easter would be celebrated, right? It was the second Nicene Council. So as he does the research, he comes up with, wait a minute. The second Nicene Council was the seventh council of the Ecumenical Council. Hold on, this is an offshoot, right? All you heard about is this. How many people have ever heard of the Ecumenical Council prior to that article? See? You did. You did some research already. The brother right here, right? So you found what we found.
Not everything.
Right, you do. You saw the picture? Did you dig up the picture? Because it's on the site. Well, I mean, I didn't bring this to show, but you could go on the site. There's the photo. Everybody in here is got melanated skin. You see this picture? You see that picture? First Church Council. First Church Council. You know, church means circle. First Church. See, they're all brown, right? You see that brown? You see any Europeans in there? Not a one. So the Nicene Council came as a copycat. Let me show you how they do that. You ever read stuff? Even up to recent, I read about Easter just because I was looking to see. Oh, yes, we've been celebrating Easter with Easter. We adopted bunnies and eggs since the 2nd century, and it was adopted from the pagans, or adopted, period. They won't say who from. Well, if you think in your mind, if you tell me that you adopted it from somewhere and somebody, correct? So what you did was you didn't say who you adopted it from. But they're always saying it was adopted. It was adopted, right? In all history. Oh, that was adopted. They still do it. Sometimes they'll say it was adopted from the pagans, right? Well, think about it. Who the hell would have been? Obviously, they wanted them, so who were they? They were us. They were our ancestors, look like us from. That's who they were. So then they made people think pagan is a bad word. So now, it's a bad thing. Because they're only about themselves. So now, you find out that a pagan means someone who treats the earth. That means you grow food in the earth, you take care of the earth. That's all it means. So that is no big thing. None of those things. So now you realize these people who are teaching, they're not thinking about you or what you are, what you were, or what your history is. It's not even in their minds. But you want to send your children to their school because we don't have our own. So now let's talk about this Jew thing. How many people know that the original Jews look like us? How many people really know that? They do, right? Okay. So that's why you find some of your brethren in our divisions, we're dividing ourselves with religion when really we're the arbiters of all of it. A Jew means someone who contains a jewel of knowledge. That is a fact. That is not a sound good thing. And a rabbi, or rabboni, is the title of, determines the title of that person who's achieved that level, correct? Correct? So in the Bible, that the good Christians, by the way, go to, it calls Jesus a rabbi. It's in there, right? But isn't rabbi the title of the high clergy of the Jewish synagogue? Speak. If I can get you to thinking, you would free yourself. So clearly, when you go to your reverend at the church, you ask him that, what's he behind you? What was he going to say? Don't question God, right? I'm not questioning God. This makes only too much sense. Check this out. Constantine says this. Look at this. As we did our research. Constantine, now listen to this very carefully. Now, this paragraph right here is a story of its own. Hold on, let me read this one first. Constantine, after he came to his rise, right? He made a statement that Constantine made new laws regarding the Jews, right? Does that sound, that doesn't sound crazy to us right now? Constantine made new laws regarding the Jews. They were forbidden to own Christian slaves or to circumcise their slaves. So one thing we can get out of this is Jews had slaves. But we were the Jews. So who had slaves? Baal, right? He said Baal. We have to get this straight so we can stop walking around. Look at the way we did to me. I'm a slave. No, you were the one who enslaved them. You taught them everything there is about slavery. You didn't want to sleep with them. You didn't want to be with them because you knew you had grafted them from an animal's DNA and gave your DNA. That's why one mother's breast gives everybody's up, because you gave your DNA, which is our property. We gave our DNA to this thing, and that's what we did. Look what you have brought. We're going to get it straight. And now we can move forward in truth, because if we can't move forward in truth, we're going to be all messed up as we are right now. So that's what takes away the confusion. Right? Interesting, right? Now, check this out. Culture, you mean. Sun, astrology, the sun. We're in the solar system. All right? We knew, when the modern Europeans knew, what they did was they practiced idolatry. For us. Not the other way around. Now it's the other way around. Here you go. Constantine instructed that Christians and non-Christians, so we know that since he started Christianity, he's still under the yoke of there's some black Christians and there's some who are not. Now later they said, if you don't turn into a Christian, we're going to kill you because our God, whoever that is, said it was good. Y'all read the Intercathar Divina? You ever seen the Intercathar Divina book says? I'm going to make sure you get one. Because it's a Christian belief documented in 1492 by Pope Alexander VI. And it's in the encyclopedia. That's where I found it. I found their intent. I found it was called The Exploration of the North American Continent, and it said it in an encyclopedia. It ain't even hidden. Then later we found the edict or the bull, which is the 1492 Intercathar Divina, which is a matter of historical record, that it says clearly that if we find people, that the people were dark skinned, it says that they found, that Columbus supposedly found and all that, and that if they do not change to Christianity, as God told us, we could kill them. And that's what we would rather be, a Christian to kill people by their intent and underlying purpose. No. You don't convert to Christianity when we found you on this North American continent, brown skin. It says in the record that they are predisposed to convert to our Savior Jesus. We already know Jesus. He's our son. His name is Yahshua. But you need to convert to their belief of what this is all about, to their belief, and if you don't, our God said we can kill you. It's documented in records. And we still want to be a Christian under that, because it was never meant for you. Never meant for you. That proves that. Now, so when Constantine first came into this thing, being the father of Christianity, he instructed that Christians and non-Christians should be united in observing the venerable day of what? The sun, right? That means Sunday, right? S-U-N, the sun. The S-U-N, sun. No. It says referring to the sun of worship. Nobody was really sun worshiping, not really. Furthermore, because we all knew that if the sun didn't come, and this is all about the solar system, so why would we ignore that? It's all about the solar system. here. And as the sun on its cycle makes stuff grow, those where you go dormant and then you grow. It's the seasons. It's just like you should be in your activity. You initiate, you get immersed and involved, and then you flex out and go to the next thing. So it says here that okay. Scientific instruction that Christians and non-Christians should be united in observing the venerable day of the sun, S-U-N. Thank you. I didn't know I had to really say S-U-N, but I guess I do, because they say S-O-N, thinking that it's the baby boy, some guy, and then taking and cutting on the mama right there. Like, they got nothing to do with, these babies don't come from you. No. So S-U-N, or Sunday, referring to the sun worship. Furthermore, and long after his ultimate conversion to Christianity, Constantine's coinage, listen carefully, Constantine's coinage continued to carry the symbols of the sun. Continued to carry the symbols of the sun. Hold on, just wanted to take you with that. Even after the pagan gods, and you know the pagans are, had disappeared from the coinage. So who was the original person on the coin? Study. Hold on. Christian symbols, whatever they are, appeared only as Constantine's personal attributes. The gyro between his hands or on his labyrinth, but never on the coin itself. Even when Constantine dedicated the new capital of Constantinople, which became the seat of Byzantine Christianity for a millennium, he did so wearing the Apollonian sunray diadem. What's the parallel with? The sun. Even when he dedicated the Christian Constantine, he had on the diadem with the sun. Right. You get this? He came from it. They adopted everything they did from what they had already seen. And this proves it. So when the prophet said to you, you were in the electrified age of information. If you would just get to thinking, you could free your own stuff. That's what it's meant. When he said study. And if you ask me what should I study next, after you have studied well, I said, well, study yourself. Because we're the mothers and fathers of civilization. So if you study yourself well enough, you'll get through that, would you not? But you can't without getting through the universal sciences, which they call cosmology, cosmogony, astrology being the effect of these heavenly bodies, and they want to tell you that's devil work. No, it's not. Because it's affecting you whether you want to accept that it is or not. So who's the one that's losing their mind, you or the sun? And the movements of the heavenly bodies that are going to move with or without you. And it's constant movement, which makes me think, in my mind, just a thought that Constantine named himself as a title after that constant movement. Because clearly he was absolutely honoring the sun. And constellation, somebody say, yes. And Constitution, con means with. C-O-N, with. To be with. Yes, we can hear you. Maybe if you come from. It's a title. John the Sapphire to John the Constant is a title. From there. All right. So now, the basis of what I just said now, and then remember, it says, okay, Constantine got into some position, it says, okay, Jews, you can't use the Christians for slaves anymore, and you can't make them circumcise yourself anymore either. Well, that was his new supposed law, right? Once he got into, so that's, like I said, that proves it. So now when we break this down, what you going to do? You want to continue with truth and falsehood being strangely mixed, or you want to break this thing up and walk? See, the answer to the problems, the answer to the situation is for you to have this light of knowledge within you, and if you don't even open your mouth, it shines. If you don't say nothing when you walk in the room, it's there. If you have to say something, you know what to say. Because you can only be who you are. Be what you know. And so, Father No Jewelry say, hey, look, I just came to teach you to be yourself. You know what I mean? That's it. And she does it. Be who you are. But you can only be what you know. So then I suggest you do what? What's the word? Study. To show yourself approved. To show yourself approved. You looking for a Savior? Where's the Savior? Say it along. The Savior? Okay, and where's your dog? Within. That's it, that's all. You said higher self, lower self activity, ain't nothing else other than that. You can imagine a whole bunch of stuff. You just say, so why don't you imagine the reality that you wish to have? Because it is the unseen that creates the seen. So now we can all, people say, well, I don't see the unity. Because we have no unified knowledge base. We have no unified knowledge base coming up out of, we're coming up out of this supposedly oppression, right? And we think that we're the slaves and we got peeled off the wall. But then we used to think that Europeans got peeled off. Now we got to say, well, where the hell did they come from? You better figure it out. Because they sure ain't the original people. They got peeled off the wall. Well, I heard about the, what's that, Yakuza experiment. Well, it's right in the Bible, Genesis 1. It's Jacob. Genesis 1 is about you being created on the 6th day, right? Doesn't it say the 6th day in Genesis 1? Of creation, man? Well, because it ain't nothing but your ancestors writing that they put into 66 books and put it to one book because they God wrote this. Yeah, God didn't write that if it was a Moorish brother or sister. I guess so. But as a title, because God is a title. God is a doing, not a being. It's a word that is a doing. It means a pouring out, the invoking. It's a German word from G-U-D, good. It really comes from H-U-D-A, Huda, which means to create. And the word is with God, and the word is God. That's right. So let's get the words right. So to this, first Genesis, they don't talk much about Genesis 1, but Prophet Noah Joel cooks you up to it, because he says, Genesis 1 in the Bible, or Biblical Sheolitech, we call the Bible, says that it was the 6th day man was created, right? Right? And the 7th day he rests, right? God rests. Okay. So the 6th day is Venus. It's Friday, right? Because the first day is Sunday, second day is Monday, Thursday is Tuesday, and Wednesday. Thursday is the 5th day. Friday is the 6th day, right? It's on. So, and we can prove that for those who don't know by just doing it in Latin or what you call Spanish. Sunday is Domingo, Monday is Luna, Tuesday is Mars, and the Luna is the moon, and Wednesday is Mercury's Mercury, right? We got that, right? We already got that. So now Father Noah Joel says, hey, guess what? It was Friday is a holy day, because 6 days Friday, right? Why is that? Because it's the day that you were formed in the flesh, formed in your mama's womb, and the day that you departed from the flesh, meaning departed from your mama's womb. Now the Bible goes to Genesis 2. What they talking about in Genesis 2 is Adam and Eve, correct? Adam and Eve is not about you, because you are not the descendants of Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve is about the descendants of Adam and Eve, which is the descendants of the atom, A-T-O-M, and the evolution of such atom, which you created and established. Go to Genesis 1, and it says, guess what, Jacob? We're now going to name you Israel. Uh-oh. Oh, wait a minute. Jacob got named Israel in the Bible. It's right there. You hear that? Some of you Israelites. See, guys? Is there division here? Or is it just a matter of having true knowledge? Northern Edge. I get that from Red Hill. Where'd he go? I got that this song. Oh, you want to go on this side. Red Hill, Northern Edge. No ledge, yeah, the top. Oh, there it is. No ledge, right? That means no, look. Do we have a marker? Green, in the bucket there, the green thing. Sometimes people need to learn by visual. Sometimes by words, sometimes by visual. That's right. I mean, it's just the way that it is for us. There's some people that don't need to make a whole lot of study because they are a study. They see, here's the whole point of getting the right foundation. If you have the getting the right information. If you have the foundation, everything you do is laid upon such foundation. Now, if you have a shaky foundation, then everything you do is going to be laid upon a shaky foundation. And it's going to fall, which is what has happened. So what we have done, because someone asked a question, where was it? That was it, Liz. And we were watching that video, and the brother, I don't know the name of the show, but I give him power to asking, and it happened to be DJ Supreme, that was on the streets of New York, and let's wrap that for a minute. And this brother, do you have your phone with you? You call in because I want you to make a comment on this, please. You don't mind, right? We're gonna pipe you in. Just call in on your phone. I'll call it now and first one. Okay, that's okay. You got Anthony? Okay, let me just say this. Come on out. She's gonna share yours. I want to set the stage for this. And we're gonna have some comment on it. But first, when I said some people need to see knowledge, right? KNOW. What's that? No. And then it's LEGEND, correct? So know doesn't mean you're supposed to know the legend. Right? That's knowledge. Well, I'm sorry. I'm spelling knowledge. LEG. I apologize. I got Asian spelling, you guys, so don't even worry about it. I still did. Knowledge. You see knowledge? Knowledge. Know the legend. What is the legend? That which is ledged, which is written. That means it's already done. So we're supposed to have that knowledge and know the legend. Know what's ledged already. So anyway, the question came. It's a beautiful question, and we're listening to it, and it happened to be DJ Supreme, the Divine Lord, Divine Lord was all things. And the brother said, do you think that it's true? Because all this controversy with these temples and the people. The temples are like being at first grade, and the people are already past fifth grade. They might not have got an A, but they can't go back to kindergarten. That's the damn story. So they need to get it. Someone said, come on, we need you to come to kindergarten. Shoot, man. No, I don't think so. So his question was this. Is it time for the prophets, should the prophets' information be updated? How the hell are you going to update your information? What are you talking about? First of all, and Supreme gave the right answer. It's principles. Principles don't change. It's learned. Yeah, the truth doesn't pass, nor does it change, no pass away. The principles are what was offered. Principles is what was shared. You can't change principles. There's no problem trying to change the principles. Don't even know the principles. Don't even change it. Don't even recognize. How do you update the problem? You got to update the problem. You better not. No, you need to continue on build on the foundation of which he gave you. And that foundation he made clear. Love. First principle. Truth. You find love, you got truth, right? Peace is an inherent shaper. Right? Freedom. And injustice is done. That's principle. He didn't come and establish no municipality. That's Roman venues. No, he didn't do that. He didn't come with that. It used English statutes to build a church. He didn't do that either. All right? None of that. If you can't, just like people saying they want to be an Ali, they want to be something other than an L or a Bay. I mean, the L or a Bay is the foundation of this. If you can't come out the truth being an L or a Bay, which is a lawmaker, law enforcement, you don't need to be nothing else. you graduate to those other things. Matter of fact, they're reserved for the nation for that graduation. So whether it, now that's going to happen, we'll determine when that goes down. But you don't want to come out. Then you got somebody who doesn't want to go. I want to be an RVBey and an Allen Ali. I want all of the titles. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. And then, what are you? Huh? Say? I didn't hear you. What did you say? All right, go. Let it out, bro. All right, so we want to make a comment about this. And Ms. Raheem has a comment, too, about it because we were looking at it and said, wow, he's right. So there are temples that say these temples are our temples. So I'm not going to the temple further. You got the temple line coming in, and you still want to tell me that I just got to get down on 2 knees when I know you just told me that you think that I'm a citizen of the United States of America. Just because I respect the fact that you're the temple. You're wrong. We can't get no privilege. You're putting me and my people into slavery. So, no, I can't respect that. Why don't you try respecting the process work? And if you don't know it yet, you need to go study. Because we can show you where you're actually going, oh, well, you're the prophet started the religious power. I don't think so. Oh, well, the prophet trust. I don't think so. Because you are already the beneficiary spiritually from first the earth and the resources. So what does he need to make a trust for? And whose hands was it left in? And we went over this, and was one of the things we were going to do, but maybe we'll save for next time, is explaining about trust. The sex that you talking about, that's for your kids. You can't do no sex if you got trust. That's for someone else who's not their property. That means that they're doing the sex with you on your ancestors. Mistake, you can't take that position, but you want to go and have a trust made. And then the trust made the very eating our trust with statute. So you want to these people that have them and pay them for you to establish a trust. When they get trust, Father said you need each other. You don't need each other more later. That more later is now. We got to get on the same principles and foundational information. There will be no disunity anymore. But about this question, Ms. Raheem, you were coming in. I love the question that was answered because you can't change principles. Islam, would you come in and add to that?
All right. Well, I really didn't have too much to add to it. But I do want to ask this, right? Because the question that asked he said, what's the distinguishment between quote-unquote temple Moors and quote-unquote renegade Moors? That was his question. And my mother woke up the next day still on the clip. And she was like, hold on, but what's the definition of renegade? I was like, Mom, look it up. Yeah, that's why I was going to ask you to come back and add that on because, yes, for sure. So the question was relevant because people look at it like, we know that the movement has been somewhat fractured, whereas there's certain practices that's going on inside of institutions that are not really about ameliorating or liberating the people in a national fashion. It's just kind of like church. I don't disrespect anybody. I'm just saying it is what it is. But in this lesson, with the less time that it is, I will ask you to share with the family your revelation about the definition of renegade. Okay. And he mentioned RVBey in the really This is we found the definition in the unabridged stuff. I can't remember the one that you found in the unabridged, but this is kind of relative. This is from out the fourth edition Black's Law, and it says here definition of renegade: one who has changed his perception of faith or opinion, one who has deserted the party. Renegade. Yeah. No, not necessarily. We could probably clean that up a little bit more when we add on the definition of renegade from the other dictionary we found it in. But I would it's good to see everybody again. Happy New Year for the natural New Year. I definitely look forward to presenting information next month. You know, it's like 2 minutes after this class, but you know, since it got kind of flipped and flopped, but next month. So with that, I say peace and love. And please travel safe.
I want everybody. What I just said, I cannot repeat again, but my earpiece or my microphone was on the table, so I just want to say it in short right now. Dang, what did she say? I'll forget it, man. Just look up renegade yourself, and you'll find out that most of the no, that's unabridged dictionary. That's unabridged. Oh, well, that's unabridged. But we just read it. We just read out of the Black's Law. But I'm just saying that y'all heard what you know what? Here's what we have to accept sometimes. Sometimes certain things are said, like on the years that we've been here, if there's no camera or no video or no whatever, it was only meant for your ears. Not that what I said was meant for you. You can tell everybody I said it like I said because it's true. Tell them what USA means.
United Salvation Allah.
Unity, salvation, Allah. And then people talk about, we don't have unity. I don't see unity. I don't see unity. Well, it's unity, salvation, Allah. You find Allah is not a person either. It's Allah. So if you're uncomfortable saying Allah because you think you got another God, then every time you want to use the word Allah, say Allah and see how comfortable it feels so you can grow into it because that's what it is. We're only going to be here on the second and the third week of second and the third Wednesdays now. Yeah, second and third, man. They go to 13, I think. No, but he's not because it's changed. Because originally, I know we're going to be on the 13th, but originally Abdullah was 13th and the 20th. But what I'm saying to, yeah, but he said that Abdullah, we're changing that. Because originally we were going to be here on the 23rd, and Ms. Wayne was doing a presentation for everybody. That's like y'all didn't know, but I think I did mention it. Somebody got heard me say that. But since we couldn't be here on the 23rd because the place changed the schedule, now we're down to 2 weeks. 3 weeks if it's 5 weeks in a month. Second and third Wednesday, back to back. If it's 5 weeks in a month, we're here on the fourth Wednesday. Second and third, guaranteed. If it's 5 weeks, the 4th. The next time there's 5 weeks is in, what do we say? June. So we got to worry about it. 2nd and 3rd. So next week, next month, April, this month, well, it'll be April in a minute. It's coming up. 13th and the 20th. We've gone back to back. So now this way, we can also create and establish more succinct lesson paths that might take 2 weeks to get across. That's what this is allowed us to do, and we cool with that. All right? So that's how it's going to be 2nd and 3rd, back to back. So it won't be him on the 13th, because on the 13th when we're back, Brother Ms. Raheem is doing a presentation. And you guys don't want to miss the presentation. Ms. Raheem, what's that presentation name called? Oh, you haven't named it yet. Everything we do is necessary birthday. How about that? So you don't want to miss Brother Ms. Raheem's presentation when you see us back here on the 13th. The thing is we're going to miss you because I'm so used to coming here every week for 9 years of my life that I got to get adjusted to that. So when you do see me, you know that energy y'all say I have? It's even more exciting because I'm glad to be here. All right? And I'm glad to be here today. I thank you all for being here and look forward to seeing you on the 13th. Brother Ali, if you would do the invocation. Anybody here for the first time? New. First time. That's the first time. How come you look familiar, sir, brother? Huh? You got what? You got that face. Maybe you do. We're all united. We all family. Sisters, okay, you'll take care of this. Sisters first, really. So you should have got it first. And over here. Oh, wait a minute, Seth. That's well on one. You don't look familiar. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. When we were seeing when we went to see Brother Cujo down in Philadelphia territory, so-called, you were there. So I didn't have to say a couple weeks ago. We got it. Yes, he got that. It means something real good. This is just a dress up. What is it?
More you sure about the picture of the certain team.
I might have something for you, but I don't know that. It's hold on. Can they hear him from there? No, him. All right, just go ahead and talk. Just talking to that.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Allah. 5 on the left and 2 on the right. Repeat after me. Allah, Father of the universe. Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation. By night and by day. Through his holy prophet, through Ali, also known as Sheikh Sharif Abdullah Ali. Amen. Peace and love. Right here.
Thank you, brother. Here, I'll take it. All right.